Hello and welcome to this video where I will be discussing Bruno Mars' top 5 most popular songs on Spotify. It's been a minute since I've done a Spotify ranking video. I've done it for a handful of other artists, and essentially all this video is I'm going to be looking at what Bruno Mars' most popular songs are on Spotify in this current moment, because that's how the most popular works on Spotify. It's not necessarily the amount of streams, it's just about what's getting played most within a certain span of time. And I'm just going to discuss them, go through the list, see if there's any surprises or what my general thoughts might be. Typically, I like to do this kind of a video for artists who have been in the industry for a very long time, and I usually tend to lean towards artists also that maybe haven't released music in a while, because then it'll show me what people are listening to just it's still in the long term versus like a new release, because a new release is going to show up. So with Bruno, it's a little bit different because Silk Sonic's album only came out a few months ago. So I do expect to see some Silk Sonic songs in there. But other than that, he hasn't released music for a very long time. So I'm curious to see what the people of the world, the Spotify listeners of the world, are still currently listening to by Bruno Mars. If you find yourself enjoying this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and please don't forget to subscribe, because I make all sorts of music content covering all different genres and yeah, just a lot. So if you're interested in any sort of music content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That would be really great. Number 5 for Bruno Mars is Talking to the Moon from Doo-Wops and Hooligans. I find this very surprising, but I will save that conversation until later on in the video. Yeah, that. I'm immediately a little bit thrown off, but I'll talk about that later. Number 4 is a Silk Sonic song, which, like I said, I knew Bruno was going to be a little bit different. I expected to see some Silk Sonic songs on here, but it is a Silk Sonic song that I am so pleased to see, which is Smokin' Out the Window, because I have a few videos about Silk Sonic, and Smokin' Out the Window is my absolute favorite single by them. So regardless of Smokin' Out the Window being a more recent release or not, I truly hope to continue to see that song in Bruno Mars' top 5 on Spotify for a very long time. That feels correct to me on a personal bias, and also just logistically, since this album came out only a few months ago from when I'm filming this. Number 3 is Leave the Door Open, which this song's actually been out for well over a year now, which, wow, it has been about a year since the song's been released. So I guess I was going to be surprised if Leave the Door Open wasn't in the top 5, considering that it was kind of like the comeback single, and I feel like it came back with such a bang for what the whole concept of Silk Sonic was to be. So that's at number 3, rightfully so. But what I do find interesting is that these Silk Sonic songs are number 3 and number 4, and the number 1 and 2 were away from Silk Sonic. So even though that's his most recent projects, they are not the number 1 and 2 songs in popularity still. So let's go ahead and talk about number 2. Number 2 is When I Was Your Man, which I think is probably the most heartbreaking ballad that's a single from Bruno Mars that I do know a lot of people love. I will discuss a few more thoughts and feelings about it, however, once I kind of wrap it up at the end. And then number 1 is Locked Out of Heaven. Both of those songs are from Unorthodox Jukebox, which came out in 2012. 2012? That album is 10 years old this year? Oh my gosh. My mind's exploding. Okay, I think I've recovered now. I had to literally take a breather because I did not realize how old that album is. So number 1 from Unorthodox Jukebox is Locked Out of Heaven, which I will say was just an uberly popular single when it was released. And I would say it's a song that has definitely been loud and proud for the last decade in a variety of public place settings. But at number 1, I guess I am a little surprised by that. I will be honest. Okay, so let's go ahead and break down this top 5 and give some thoughts and feelings I might have on some of the tracks. I'm gonna go ahead and let the top 5 listing just sit right here for a reference point while I discuss everything I'm feeling on the inside. Okay, so this top 5, I will say, minus the 2 Silk Sonic songs, I am very thrown off by this top 5 because we'll go ahead and start with number 5. From Doo-Wops and Hooligans, I absolutely did not think that Talking to the Moon was the song that I would be seeing on this top 5. I really thought it was gonna be Grenade or Just the Way You Are. Maybe more so Grenade than Just the Way You Are, because Just the Way You Are was kind of like, I think, the intro song to Bruno. I think it was the first song I heard on the radio. However, it doesn't feel very Bruno Mars compared to the other songs that he released after that. Grenade is a very dramatic song that I personally feel like Grenade is a song that, from Bruno Mars, that I hear still a lot in public play. I really did expect to see that be the song from Doo-Wops and Hooligans. Now, on a personal level of songs I enjoy most, I do enjoy Talking to the Moon more than Grenade. I just didn't realize that other people of the world were on the same page as me, because I definitely feel like I only hear Grenade in public play all the time. I was expecting to see Grenade, but I'm not upset that it's not Grenade. Like I said, number 3 and number 4 are both from the newest album from Bruno Mars, which is Silk Sonic's An Evening with Silk Sonic. So I have nothing much to say there. I expected to see 2 songs, at minimum 2 songs from this album, since it is the newest release. The only thing I will say is I am surprised that it's 3 and 4. I kind of thought I would see those songs a little bit higher on the list. The fact that it's Leave the Door Open and Smokin' Out the Window as the 2 songs on this list makes complete sense to me. They were both singles released from the album, and I do think Smokin' Out the Window, for a couple reasons, surpassed Skate in popularity. Anderson .Paak's performance of actually falling to the ground at the lyric, not to be dramatic, but I want to die. It became an instant meme, on top of it being just such a fun and catchy song. So I'm really not surprised that these 2 singles are the songs in the top 5. This is where it's going to get a little bit interesting. I want to talk about number 1 and number 2. And afterwards, I'm going to talk about some of the singles that I really thought I was going to see on this list. Number 2, When I Was Your Man. Unorthodox Jukebox is very tough to kind of figure out what songs I thought would be in the top 5, because there were so many singles from this album. I mean, this was such a great album where you felt like pretty much every song could be a single. When I Was Your Man is probably one of the most stripped back Bruno Mars songs, and I guess I never realized it had quite that staying power in public play. Like, it's obviously a gorgeous song, but there are other songs from his catalog that I could see replacing When I Was Your Man, just from what I feel like public play, airplay I hear on the radio. Not to say I don't hear When I Was Your Man. I definitely do. But I just did not expect to see it at number 2 on the list. And also number 1 being Locked Out of Heaven. Personally, between Locked Out of Heaven and When I Was Your Man, I would have replaced either one of those with the song Treasure, probably, because that was my single of choice. I loved Treasure. Not to say I don't like either of those songs. I mean, I truly love Bruno Mars music, period. But Treasure has a little bit more of the flair and retro vibe that I love when Bruno Mars taps into, which he has tapped into various eras of music throughout his career. There is quite a few songs missing that I am so shocked. I really thought we'd maybe get one single from Unorthodox Jukebox, and I thought maybe it'd be Locked Out of Heaven, had hopes for Treasure, but I can't understand how Uptown Funk is not in this top 5. I know Uptown Funk is a Mark Ronson song, but normally with Spotify, even if an artist is featured on a song, they would include it in their top 5. And Uptown Funk, I just felt like was this unstoppable single when it was released. Whether you want to hear it or not, Uptown Funk is still to this day inescapable. So I am literally shocked that I do not see that song in this top 5. Maybe Spotify doesn't include it since Bruno isn't the main artist on it, but that has not been the case with literally any other musician. Like if they are featured on someone else's song and it's popular, it's typically in the top 5. So I do find it shocking that Uptown Funk is not in this top 5. But the biggest crime of all with this top 5 is there is not a single song from 24 Karat Magic. Why is there not a single song from 24 Karat Magic? The fact that Talking to the Moon from Doo-Wops and Hooligans is more popular than That's What I Like or the song 24 Karat Magic. Those two singles were explosive and I love them to this day. Finesse, I mean, I love that whole album front to back, but strictly talking in singles, I really felt like either 24 Karat Magic or especially That's What I Like was going to be within this top 5. I figured it would have kicked out one of the songs from Unorthodox Jukebox. I really thought this top 5 would be 2 songs from Silk Sonic, 1 song from Unorthodox Jukebox, maybe throw in Uptown Funk, and then for sure 1 song from 24 Karat Magic. So the fact that there isn't a song from 24 Karat Magic, I find so incredibly surprising. I think this is just teaching me a lot about what the public likes to hear most for Bruno Mars, because I love 24 Karat Magic, that entire album. I love all of his retro inspired songs. If I had to pick a moodier song from Unorthodox Jukebox, instead of going When I Was Your Man route, I would listen to Gorilla, which is a totally different vibe, but it's so cool and good and gritty and amazing. But it's definitely not the same context lyrically. So I guess the moral of the story here is this Bruno Mars top 5. Is it surprising to me? 100%. This also just proves the point that Bruno Mars just makes hit after hit and knows what's up. Like he knows how to make music people love. And this is an example of it, because the fact that all of these songs are still so great and such great public play songs, yet I still have a list of like 5 other songs in my head that I thought could be there too, proves just how talented Bruno Mars is as a musician, and really will, I think, leave a stamp on the music industry. Please let me know your thoughts on this top 5, or what songs you expected to see, or just tell me what songs you love by Bruno Mars in general, whether or not they are songs that you thought would be in a top 5 of most popular. And if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so. And thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it until the very end. And until my next video, bye.